friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Happy May! I am so excited that we are finally getting into a new month, a fresh start. The last couple of months have been crazy for me, but I am ready to get back on track with my budget. So we are here today to write out my May budget. If you're interested in that, just keep on watching. So I have my May budget printables here in front of me, and this is really the first time I'm sharing them on camera. When I did my release for my May printables, I was still pretty sick, so I just did like a little digital video, real quick, like short, showing the May designs, but I have them here in front of me today. I'm going to be using my May printables. It's this really pretty floral and gingham pattern in this like peachy color, which just screams like May, Mother's Day vibes. So I have these available in my Etsy shop if you're interested. I will have them linked down below. For today, I'm going to be flipping to my hybrid budget, so we're going to move past the calendar. I'm probably just going to fill this in kind of on my own time. Move my little flower out of the way. Isn't this beautiful? My son Robert got me this for Mother's Day. He gave it to me a little bit early. Purple's my favorite color. So pretty. So I'm just going to kind of move this off to the side and get it out of the way, but nearby so I can still look at how beautiful it is, and move my cup to drinking lots of water from my pretty little tumbler here. One of my May goals is to get back on the water train, so we're going to move all that out of the way, make room. We're going to flip past my calendar. I'm not going to be working in my calendar today. I'm going to do this, like I said, on my own time, fill in my paydays and my bills and whatnot. The worksheet we're going to be working on together today is my hybrid budget worksheet. So if you have never seen one of my YouTube videos, you're probably not familiar with my hybrid budget. This is a 2-page budgeting worksheet duo that I put together to help me keep track of absolutely everything I need to keep track of throughout the month. It's the entire budget at a glance, so there is a place here for tracking my income, which I don't share on camera, so you won't be seeing me fill in this income section today. But there's also a place for all of my monthly bills. There's a place here for each week in the month, including a 5th week for those months that require that. There's a place here to write in how much I'm saving throughout the month, my debt payments, and my sinking funds. Now, May is a little bit unique in that I'm actually not going to do any sinking funds for May. I originally had intended to put aside just a little bit of money for sinking funds. I had a couple $100s I was gonna put into my camping sinking fund, but we actually pretty much already spent that money. We had some bills due for our campground, so we're not going to do any sinking funds this month. We're just going to kind of roll with what we already have in sinking funds. Hopefully we will do very little spending from sinking funds this month as well, because let's be honest, we definitely overspent in April. I was really sick. Things were a little chaotic. So hopefully May will be a nice calm month. We'll be able to stick to our budget, and let's just talk about it. So I'm going to write in my monthly budget here. This is what we're going to be doing today. And then next week I will come back and we'll talk about variable spending, what I spent in this week section. You can see here, if you're familiar with my hybrid budget, I did make some changes. Rather than having a budgeted and actual section, I changed these sections to say spent and remaining, so that I can keep track of how much I spent with my variable expenses and how much is remaining for the month. That was a change that some of you suggested, and I think it's going to work out a lot better for me. So that's what the hybrid budget looks like for May. This is a change I made to my specific budget printable. So if you buy the May hybrid budget, it will still say budget and actual, But moving forward, I think I'm going to change it to spent and remaining for June and beyond. So let me know what you guys think of that change. I rambled on long enough. Let's go ahead and get into the budget. So something I'm going to do a little bit differently this month. Usually we don't talk about income here on my channel, and we're still not really talking about income. But I am going to give you a total amount that I am budgeting. So this does not necessarily reflect my paycheck, my husband's paychecks, that sort of thing. This is just an amount that we are hoping to stick to for the month. I've been really loosey-goosey with my budget as of late. I've just been like spending absolutely every single dime, and what I would really like to do is, you know, cut back on that spending. So we're going to aim to spend $6,000. That, like I said, is not necessarily our budget total. It's just the amount that we want to work with this month. So that's what I'm going to write in here. $6,000 is our budgeted amount. So we want all of our monthly bills and expenses to add up to $6,000 or less. So I'm just going to start listing out our bills kind of one at a time. We have quite a few bills to get through, and we'll talk a little bit about what the bills are, how much things cost. You know, we'll get this monthly budget going. So first and foremost, we have our lot rent. My husband and I own our mobile home free and clear. We paid it off in spring of 2020, I believe. Right before the pandemic hit, I think is when we did that. I do have whole videos on that journey if you're interested in that. I talked about us paying off our mortgage in a video all the way back in 2020, so I will link that in a card above if you're interested in going back to check that out. It was a really wonderful time for us. We were so proud to be able to do that. So while we own our home, we still rent the lot that it sits on. So we are in a mobile home community. We rent the lot, and that amount is $553 a month. That has gone up significantly since we moved in this community, which was what, like 12 years ago. It's just gone up steadily. So one day we hope to be able to move out of here, but for now, this is where we are. This is what we pay. Our next big expense is our water bill. We pay our water bill, our lot rent, as well as our cable bill, all to our mobile home community. It is one payment that we lump together and send them once a month. But I like to have these on separate line items in my budget because while the lot rent and the cable are static, they remain the same every single month, our water bill fluctuates. So I like to be able to keep it separate just so I can see that fluctuation. For water, I'm going to budget $50. I always like to budget my bills high if I don't know exactly how much they're going to come in at, just so that I know that I'm covered. And then for cable, we are going to budget $70. This is for cable TV and internet. We don't really watch the cable TV, if I'm being honest. We have quite a few streaming services that we take advantage of. However, to get the high-speed internet and cable was actually cheaper than just high-speed internet on its own, so we take advantage of that to keep costs down. $70 still seems crazy high to me, especially with all the additional streaming services, but we gotta have that high-speed internet. So that takes care of that. Speaking of streaming services, I do have HBO Max that we pay for on a monthly basis. Some of our streaming services we do annually, and you won't see those here because I save up for those in a sinking fund. But the ones that come out every single month, I just add into my monthly budget as a line item, and that works out just fine for me. So the amount that I'm going to budget for HBO is $16. It's actually like 15 and change, but as I mentioned, I like to round up in some cases, so we have that. Then we have my Boost mobile bill. This is our phone bill. We have 4 lines of unlimited talk, text, and data for $120. We also have our camper payment. My husband and I have a camper that sits on an annual campsite. We pay for the annual campsite fees and all of that through a sinking fund, but the camper payment itself comes out of our monthly budget, and that is $200 a month. So that's what we will budget for that. Then we have our utilities. So we have DTE, which is our electric bill. We are on a budget billing plan, which I highly recommend you do if you have it available through your utility companies. That way it's the exact same amount every single month. You always know what to expect. With energy, it's fluctuates a lot. It's really hard to tell what your bill is going to be, but if you can get on one of these budget plans, it really helps you to be able to manage your money. So that is DTE. We budgeted $193, which is our budget billing amount. And then we have Michigan Gas, which is our gas company, and that just recently went up for us. What they do with the budget billing is they take your average for a year and divide it out by 12, and that's how much you pay every month. And then once a year they go in and true everything up. So if you used more energy or whatever, gas, than what they budgeted you out for, then you'll pay the difference at the end of the year. If you pay less, then they give you a refund. We actually used more, so our payment went up a little bit. Actually, I think our usage wasn't really that much higher than usual. It's just that prices have gone up as they've gone up everywhere, right? So that takes care of Michigan Gas. Next up, we have our Subaru payment. This is our car payment. We got a new to us Subaru back in February. Traded in our old Subaru. We are Subaru fans for life. We love, love, love the Subaru Forester. And the amount that we're paying for this is $650. It's actually less than that, but that is what we have chosen to pay every month in order to get it paid off quicker. I have Planet Fitness, which is my gym membership. I need to just make a decision about Planet Fitness, whether I want to keep it and actually start going to the gym or if I just want to cancel it, but it is only $10 a month, so there's that. Next, I have Weight Watchers, which is one of these things that I signed up for a months-long contract, and then I got sick, so I haven't been using it, unfortunately, but I'm like locked in. So I have to continue to pay this. I'm hoping to get back on Weight Watchers in May. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'm really hopeful that May is going to be a better month for me. But that amount that I'm going to budget for this is $25. It's actually going to come in a little bit less than that, but I'm not sure exactly. I signed up for one of these like rolling promotions where I paid like $10 a month for the first couple of months, and then moving forward it's a little bit more. So I just want to make sure that all my bases are covered, so I rounded up to $25 for that. Next I have my husband's motorcycle insurance. He does have a motorcycle. We are trying to decide if he wants to keep or sell that motorcycle. For now, obviously, we're going to continue to keep it insured while we own it. It's full coverage insurance, but it's like super cheap. It's less than $20 a month. $18 is what I'm going to budget. Something that's not super cheap, however, is car insurance. Michigan has the highest insurance premiums for car insurance out of the entire country, I believe. We are going to budget $210 for insurance. That's full coverage insurance on our car as well as our camper, so that takes care of that. Okay, next up is a new service for me. I finally signed up for YouTube Premium. The big push for me to sign up for this was actually my son. He really likes YouTube music, so he wanted to have access to that. I watch YouTube constantly, you guys already know this, and a big feature for YouTube Premium is you can download videos, and up at our camper we do not have great internet connection. In fact, we don't have any internet connection. Our signal is really weak, so I don't have access to the internet. So I can download YouTube videos and watch them up at our camper at night when I'm getting ready to go to sleep, or if it's a rainy day, which happened to us over the weekend. So YouTube Premium has been great so far. We've really been enjoying it. We signed up for the family plan, which is just under $18 a month, and I think it's well worth it. Next up, I have our minimum payments for our credit cards. So we have a few credit cards that carry balances. We do use a credit card for pretty much everything. Like all of these bills that can go on a credit card will go on that credit card. and we just then pay it off immediately, and we use like the rewards points that we get back for lots of things. So we do have that one credit card that we use and pay off regularly, but we also carry balances on some cards. It's our mission to get these cards paid off at some point. That's why we write a budget every single month. And so I'm going to go ahead and write those in next. We will pay the minimum payments on all of these cards, and then whatever we have kind of left over at the end of the month will go towards the card we're currently working on, which is a Chase card. So the minimum payment for this Chase card is $70. Next we have our Ashley card. This is the card that we used for our living room furniture, which I purchased quite a few months back now. I believe I have that in a vlog where I showed off that new furniture, so if you're interested in that, I will link that in a card above. We are paying $156 a month in order to pay that off. And then I have my First Merchants Bank card, which is the card that has the highest balance, but it has the lowest minimum payment, interestingly enough. I can't wait to start tackling this card, but we still have a ways to go before we get there. And then lastly, for our regular bills, I have Netflix, which we do pay for on a monthly basis, and I'm going to budget $16 for that. I would actually really like to cancel Netflix. I'm not the biggest Netflix fan, honestly. My favorite streaming service is Hulu. I love Hulu, and my oldest son actually pays for the Hulu No Ads program as part of his contribution to our household. He's 19. He currently lives with us still, so I love Hulu. Netflix, I could take or leave, but my youngest son loves Netflix, and he really likes all those Netflix original shows like Stranger Things and what's that other one he likes? I can't remember. Oh, Outer Banks, that's the other one that he likes, and so he refuses to let me cancel it. He's insistent that it's something that he watches most often, so we're sticking with Netflix, even though it's like the worst of the streaming services, in my opinion. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what is your favorite streaming service and what is your least favorite. Alright, so that's it for our regular bills and expenses. These are like static, they never really change. Sort of our fixed expenses, if you will. Some of them fluctuate a little bit, but for the most part, these are things that the bill comes in once a month and we pay it. We don't really have any control over it. Sure, I mean, we could cancel Netflix or we could cancel my gym membership, but you know, these are the things we don't really have a lot of control over. The rest of these are the variable expenses, the things that we can control the most, like our groceries, our eating out, that sort of thing. This is where the budget really comes in handy, because this is where we can really make or break a month. So, starting with a new category for us, which is Sam's Club. I have decided that I want to create a separate budget for Sam's Club above and beyond like our typical grocery budget. I actually might make this a sinking fund at some point in the future, but for this month, we're going to have a Sam's Club budget, and then we will have a grocery budget separate from that. So while we will buy some grocery and household items from Sam's Club, I just think it's a little bit easier to have it be its own line item in the budget, just to kind of test it out, see how it goes. So the budget I'm going to write for us for Sam's Club is $300, and that is what I hope to spend, no more than that, when we go to Sam's Club. We've been trying to go to Sam's Club once a month. Last month we spent right around $300, so I know it can be done. So that is what we are going with this month, and we'll kind of see how it goes. Okay, so we plan to do quite a bit of like bulk shopping at Sam's Club to get things like our drinks for the month, snacks for the month, that sort of thing. And then above and beyond that, we would like to keep our grocery shopping once a week for like weekly produce and that sort of thing as a separate line item. So we intend to do our grocery shopping on Tuesday or Wednesday. That's just what works best for our schedule. And I'm looking at my calendar on my phone here, and it tells me that there are 5 Tuesdays in the month and 4 Wednesdays. So I want to kind of make sure that I have enough money to spend about $125-ish. And let's go with $120 per week. Just for extra things, stuff above and beyond Sam's Club. So let's just go with $600 for the month. And we'll kind of see how it goes. I would like to ultimately lower this, but with prices being what they are, it's really tough to lower the grocery spending. But what I am going to lower is our eating out spending. So I feel like we spend way too much money eating out. So we're going to try to minimize our eating out in May, but not cut it out altogether. We really like to eat out. It's one of the things we like to do as a family. So I'm going to budget $150 for eating out. This is significantly less than what we have been spending. We'll see how it goes. I'm really hopeful we can stick to this budget. That's a really tight budget for us. We have been known to spend like $400 and up on eating out. We've definitely gotten like ridiculous with it. So thought about cutting it down to $200. Honestly, that may have been a better choice, but we'll see how this goes. It's a really tough time right now with, it's track season, so we have lots of track practices and meets and things, and so we tend to be busier in the evenings. But if I meal plan and think ahead, I think I can definitely do this. We'll have some like convenience meals in the freezer for super busy nights, and hopefully we can stick to this $150 budget. Wish me luck on that. That will be tough for us. But I was looking back at some of my old budgeting videos, and we used to be so much better about our spending in general and really sticking to a budget. And I'd like to get back to that. Over the past couple of months, we've just been raising budgets every single month to cover our spending, and that's not the way it should work, right? You should lower your spending to meet your budget, not the other way around. So we'll see. This may be a mistake, but I think we can do it if we're really strict with ourselves. So that is eating out. Next we have household. And we will likely pick up some household items with our Sam's Club trip. But I definitely want to give us some money above and beyond that for anything else that comes up. So I'm going to budget $150 here as well. You know, toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, all of that stuff is so pricey right now. So we'll kind of see how that goes. And I can always adjust this budget later on down the line if I'm finding that I'm budgeting too much. But I want to be covered. So that takes care of household spending. Next we have gasoline. You guys know gas prices are astronomical right now, and we do have quite a few camping trips scheduled. Like pretty much as soon as the weather breaks and it's not snowing anymore, we are back to our camper on weekends. Our camper is about an hour plus away, so it's a bit of a drive, so I want to make sure that we budget enough for gas. I think of gas as a need, not a want. You know, there's places that we have to drive. We have to pick up my son from track practice. We have to run to the grocery store. It's not like we can just decide if we run out of gas money, we're just not going to go anywhere until the new month. So definitely want to budget on the higher side. And of course, if we spend less than that, that's great. So I'm going to budget $250 for gas. That's about $60 a week. Yeah, if I were to fill up 4 times at $60, it would be $240. So probably more gas than we need, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. We can always take any overage that we have left and put it towards a credit card, right? So that is the plan for gas. Next we have spending. So we recently raised my husband's spending money from $40 a week to $60 a week. He is so good about taking his cash every single week, not spending more than that. But he has noticed that it's been getting harder and harder for him to stick to $40 a week for everything that he needs with prices on everything going up. So while there's some areas that I would rather just cut down our spending to meet our budget, when it comes to my husband's spending, I'm just gonna up his budget because he deserves it. He works so hard. He doesn't ever ask for anything. So when he came to me and said, hey, look, I'm having a hard time sticking to this $40 a week. Can we find a way in the budget to up it a little bit? I said, absolutely, let's do it. So he's going to get $60 a week. And in order for me to give him that $60 a week, I'm actually going to cut my spending money because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I spend most of my time at home and I don't really need $40 a week in spending. So I'm going to take $20 a week in spending and give him that $20 that would be for my spending so that he can, you know, get himself a cup of coffee. He can buy his cigarettes and whatnot through that and not struggle to meet his budget. So that's what we decided. So our spending money isn't really going to change in terms of like the total, but it's just going to shift a little bit. So he's going to get $60 a week. I'm going to get $20 a week. And then I also need to include my son's allowance in here, which is also $20 a week. So let me do some quick calculations and see what that's going to be. So we do our allowance payments on Tuesdays. So there are technically 5 Tuesdays in May. So we need to do 60 for my husband times 5, that's $300. And then we'll do 40 for my son and I times 5, that's $200. So we're going to do $500 in spending money, which seems like a lot when I lay it out like that, but it's just because there's that 5th paycheck that's technically in May. It's on the very last day of the month, so, you know, that's what kind of brought that up so high. Alright, next up I have miscellaneous. So this is just cash that I keep on hand for anything else that comes up. This will also cover like our tickets to get into track meets for my son. Like I said, it is track season right now. We're going to do $100. That's essentially $20 a paycheck. And I will just keep that in cash in my wallet so that I have it on hand for anything else that comes up throughout the month that's not covered in one of these other areas. Alright, so that's kind of it for our regular spending. Now we're moving into like our savings, our sinking funds, which as I said, we're not going to add anything to any extra debt payments that we plan to make. So let's see how this goes. So we're going to go ahead and write in that sinking funds are going to get 0. That was just a decision I made because we did a ton of overspending in April. So we're not going to add anything to sinking funds. Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the butt later, but that is what I've decided for May. For savings, I've actually already pulled out the cash that I wanted to set aside for savings and stuffed my little envelopes. So let me grab that and show you what I did with savings. Okay, so I have my little 50 envelope challenge binder, and I just went ahead off camera and pulled and stuffed my 4 envelopes for May. So the ones that I stuffed were $48, $10, $6, and $47. I was going to do this on camera as part of like a Transfer Tuesday video, but ultimately I decided just to get it done and over with, because it was more convenient for me to just kind of do it on my own time. So let me add this up and get a total. So 47 plus 48 plus 10 plus 6. So $111 is what we're going to put into our savings challenge for the month. And as you can see, these envelopes are all full. I just need to punch them in order to get them put into my binder. So that's already done, and I can just write that amount in, $111. Okay, that takes care of savings. Then we have extra debt and rollover. So I don't really know what I want to do in terms of rollover. I'm not going to write in an unbudgeted line here just because I'm out of lines because we added some categories. Hopefully we don't have any unbudgeted spending, so I guess I'll just include rollover, and hopefully we will be able to roll over quite a bit of money, but I need to figure out kind of how much we've spent overall here. I didn't really do a rough draft budget, so I'm hoping this will all add up. Guess we're gonna find out. So I'm just gonna really quickly add up all of these totals and kind of see where we are and what we have left of the $6,000 that we're budgeting. So 553 plus 50, still just using my phone because I can't find my calculator. It's been missing for a couple of weeks now. I almost wonder if one of my kids didn't borrow it and took it into their rooms or something because I can't find it anywhere. Granted, my desk is, as always, a mess. So 650 plus 10, really hoping this doesn't add up to be more than 6,000 because then I'll have to go in with some whiteout and make some changes. Did not have time to do a rough draft this time. Usually I do. 16, 300, 600, 150, 150, 250, 500, 100, 111. Okay, so that adds up to $4,433. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is what I got. And if we subtract that from 6,000, that leaves us with $1,567. So what I'm going to do here then is I want to roll over quite a bit of this money so that we can put it towards sinking funds next month. Since we didn't do sinking funds this month, I really want to bulk up our sinking funds next month. So I'm actually going to roll over $1,000, which seems like a lot, I know, but that's the plan. We'll kind of see how it goes. And then that will give us $567 to pay in extra debt payments, which if we could manage that, that would be phenomenal. So all of this then should equal up to be that $6,000 that we budgeted. And again, you guys, this is not our actual income number. This is an estimate of what we have to roll over from last month. This is an estimated amount for my husband's income, and this is just kind of like a ballpark number I'm working with. If we earn more than this, that'll be great. I don't expect that we will have less than this between what we earn in May and what we have kind of set aside for May, so we'll kind of see how this goes. So let me really quickly add all of this up and just double check, make sure that this equals out to be $6,000. Okay, so I definitely made a math error here somewhere. So I'm actually going to change these numbers here. We're going to roll over $800. Because when I added everything up, I got a total of $6,228. So we're going to take off the $200 for the rollover. So instead of $1,000, we'll save $800. And then we're going to take off $28 from what I said the extra debt payment was. So if all of my math calculations are correct, then the extra debt payment should be $539. So this is kind of the plan for the month of May. We're going to see how it goes. We'll check in every week to see how my variable spending is going. Hopefully at the end of the month some of our bills will come in a little bit less and our variable spending will come in a little bit less, and that extra debt payment and that rollover can be a little bit higher. But this is the plan for now. Did things a little bit differently this time in that I gave us a total to work with. Usually I just leave the income total blank and we just kind of keep some of this other information private, but I decided this time to do it this way to really give me a set in stone number I have to stick to. And with any luck, I'll be able to stick to this and it'll be a really good month. As I mentioned before, these last couple of months have been really chaotic and crazy with a lot of like shit hitting the fan. So hopefully May will be a really calm and easy month, and we'll be able to stick to this budget. So if you like this video, I hope that you will give it a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel, and I hope that you will subscribe. If you are interested in checking out some of my other budget videos, I have a couple that you can check out right here. And yeah, make sure you check out those videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!